in India, a lot of banks went bankrupt. And when they went bankrupt, they are one of the folks who did not even return the money of the people who have stored their money with them. Okay. So now think in this way. You have spent your entire life in earning something which is more fruitful for you, and then you go to the bank by having one faith in your mind, like your money is going to save, but that bank has given that money to some of the bigger clients of his, and that bigger client gone bankrupt. And because of that, your money, which is your hard-earned money, is now no more there, and you can only claim one part of it. Like let's say if you have stored 10 lakh rupees, you will be only able to eligible to get 1 lakh rupees, right? So just imagine how much problem these banking system currently have right today. That is where decentralized finance kind of comes into the picture, where you as a user, you as a somebody who has earned this money over the time, can keep this money into your wallet in your own custody. You don't need a bank, you don't need anyone to hold this money. You yourself can hold this money. That is where the business terminology of the decentralized finance kinds of kicks into the picture. Now let's say if you want to earn a yield out of it, you want to go to leverage into the market, you want to do a lot of things, you can go ahead and do that. Nobody is going to like ask you any question, but it is going to be in decentralized finance way, which means like you don't need a bank to transact, you don't need a bank to basically generate a yield. You can do it on chain. You don't even like rely, you are not going to relying on any of the banks out there. So that is where the borderless kind of a business to go borderless kind of a means, like once you remove these frictions, the businesses will become by default borderless. Right? You don't even have to now worry about doing a Swift transaction, doing that transaction. I have done it in my life. I have done it in my career. I know what is the pain of just sending one. Let's say if you have to send 100 rupees from one place to another place out of India, I can challenge, like you will end up in screwing yourself, your head, rather than just sending the money. The second part, which is like allowing wider community to participate. So let's say if you want to learn about Java today, why I should tell about Web3 to you, right? You guys are over this call because you wanted to know about Web3, and that is where the community participation kind of becomes more important. So that is what it basically means. Most of the Web3 projects are driven and governed and controlled by the communities. Some of them are still in the foundership phase. Some of them are moving out of it. But ultimately, current community has the right to go and vote for a certain mechanism in the DAO, whatever they have. Third and the most important thing is the killing the monopoly. I believe I have already talked about the democratization of the data in my previous slide. But when I've also written a very nice thought around or retrospection questions on my LinkedIn profile. There was a lot of questions which I have asked people to go and think about it. One of the questions which I've asked people to think about was around what happens if Google or let's say Facebook is no more there. What will happen if suddenly one day they decide to give the access to the specific people in the world rather than to everyone in the world, which already happened. I can name the scenario during Russia time as well. Just give it a thought. The moment you give it a thought, you will also understand one more thing is you and me, we both are living on the mercy of their infrastructure. Imagine the power which they will be holding. None of the militaries, none of the Indian government, none of the regime of any city or any state or any country can basically control them. They have enough monopoly which can be get created over the time, and nobody knows what is going to happen, what they can do with that. Apart from that, the wealth is the other factor. Why the wealth is getting accrued only at one place? Why it is not get distributed to the people who are equally participating into the community? Why they are not distributing the money in equally participation, who are contributing to build Amazon at the place where exactly it is? That is where the Web 3.0 significance can sort of start playing a bigger and very vital role, right, to kill those monopolies. Now, the most important part, I believe this is what I also personally love and inspire about Web3 is called composability. When I say composability, is basically means, let's say you have to build an application today. It is the same example. Let's say there is a data warehousing system which is kind of built. Now you have to build an application on top of that with data warehouse, which is already there. In Web 2.0, you have to basically go and ask like a lot of, like these companies can ask you tons of questions even before giving you the access of it. But in Web 3.0, if let's say if you're building something legit, you just go and access those data. Nobody's going to stop you. It's your business. You have to decide what are the data and what are the things which you want to use. So that is where the composability kind of comes into the picture. So anyone into the world can come and participate and build their own application layer. So that is where the composability kinds of plays a very vital role into the Web 3.0 ecosystem.